Ricky Gervais has stirred up a big debate by speaking out against woke immigration policies. Famous for his sharp humor and honest opinions, he questioned how these policies balance kindness with practicality. Gervais pointed out issues like fairness and limited resources, sparking conversations about whether these policies really work.
I love illegal immigrants. Yeah, sue me now. Sometimes I go down to Dover for the day, right? And I look out, right? I look for a boat, and I see a dinghy with about 60 of them.
Ricky Gervais, ever the master of sarcasm, kicked things off with a cheeky, "I am woke now," before diving into a hilarious story about illegal immigrants. He painted the picture of spotting a boat full of people and casually helping them to shore, all while delivering it in his signature sharp and no-holds-barred style. Gervais mixing edgy humor with serious topics, leaving us laughing and questioning all.
And I go over here like that, right? And I pull them into shore, and I go, women and children first. They go, there are no women and children. Just you lads, is it? Just come on, lads. Come on, lads. If I go down there one day and there's no boat, I am absolutely fucking gutted. I just sort of wander into town and
Classic Gervais. Only he could turn giving direction to Gary Lineker's house into comedy gold. It's that cheeky, unpredictable humor that makes you wonder how this mind even works. Moments like these remind us of why he's the master of finding hilarity in the mundane. You've gotta love how effortlessly he keeps the audience hooked.
I stand by the traffic lights and I wait for a big lorry to pull up, right? And I look underneath, and there's a lad sort of clutching like that. And I go, where you headed? And he goes, Gary Lineker's house. I go, it's just down there.
Gervais was on fire, roasting the woke mob and their ever-changing rules. He hilariously pointed out the absurdity of modern society, where you can identify as a toaster if you want, but heaven forbid you question someone's self-proclaimed gender. Classic Gervais, always pushing the boundaries and leaving the snowflakes melting.
I love the new women. I know the new women. They're great, aren't they? You know, the new ones we've been seeing lately. The ones with beards and they're as good as gold. I love them.
He talked about big, serious topics, AIDS, famine, and even the Holocaust in his comedy. But guess what? None of those seem to upset people as much as identity politics. These days, joking about trans rights is the biggest no-no. Trust Gervais to call out the irony with a smile and a quick punchline. What are your thoughts on Ricky's fearless and unfiltered opinions? Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more content.
I talk about AIDS, famine, cancer, the Holocaust, rape, paedophilia. But no, the one thing you mustn't joke about is identity politics. The one thing you should never joke about is the trans issue, right? They just want to be treated equally. I agree. That's why I include them.
He broke it down perfectly, pointing out that people often confuse the subject of a joke with its actual target. He made it clear, they're not the same. According to him, you can joke about anything as long as you nail the punchline. No topic is off limits, and there are no rules when it comes to comedy. Leave it to Gervais to drop some truth bombs while keeping things unapologetically funny.
Yeah, well, that's the thing about offence, isn't it? When people say they're offended, it's that just because you're offended, it doesn't mean you're right, you know?
He talked about how being offended doesn't always mean someone is right. He said that what offends one person might not bother someone else. He explained that you can't make everyone happy with comedy, and that it's important to joke about difficult or controversial topics. Ricky Gervais didn't hold back, pointing out that atheists still have it tough in some parts of the world, mentioning how in 13 countries, not believing in God could actually get you a death sentence. He kept it real, saying it's totally fine whether you believe in God or not because it's all about personal choice. And of course, he couldn't resist sharing a laugh about how even a simple tweet, like wishing Earth a happy 4.6 billionth birthday, managed to ruffle some feathers. classic Gervais, mixing sharp truths with a side of humor.
Tell the other side, you know. There's still 13 countries where people are put to death just for being an atheist, and there's people bullied, and I just wanted to say...
He took aim at himself, joking about his weight by admitting, "I got fat because I'm lazy and greedy. No excuses." He hilariously called out people who now compliment his slimmed down look, but never dared to mention he looked terrible before. Apparently, that's a taboo topic. "Where were the waiters telling me to stop eating?" he quipped, leaving everyone in stitches. As for the critics, he set the record straight. He's never attacked overweight people, just stated the obvious. If you eat more calories than you burn, you gain weight. Gervais serving up brutal honesty with a side of laughs.
This was my favourite because I think the audience was more receptive. I think it took them the first two to sort of get me.
Right.
I think the last time I just thought, why is he saying such horrible things?
Yes. Yeah.
But I think this time they sort of understood they were just gags, you know, or they checked them at security and checked if they got a sense of humour to get in. I don't know, but...
He reflected on how audiences grew more receptive to his humor during award shows. Initially, his jokes seemed harsh, but they later appreciated them as light-hearted fun. Hosting isn't his passion, likening it to a casual hobby like golf. His true joy lies in writing and creating TV shows afterward.
Some people play golf. It's not part of,
Right.
you know, my thing. And win, lose or draw, you know, the next day I'm writing something. That's the fun for me, writing and creating TV shows. But it was just such good fun, you know.
Well, I liked it the year before when people were outraged.
Yeah, of course.
People, they were stunned. They couldn't believe that a guy had the courage and the brain power to stand up in front of famous people and make jokes about them.
I know.
Oh my God!
I know. Like it was...
Looking back at his past shows, Ricky couldn't help but laugh at the outrage he stirred up. People were absolutely floored. Can you believe he just roasted celebrities to their faces? He mimicked, clearly enjoying the memory. With his trademark cheekiness, he took pride in being the guy bold enough to say what everyone else was thinking, proving once again that he's the king of fearless comedy.
Oh, he's out of touch. He's so famous. He's rich. He's mega rich. I am. I could have this place burned down for a laugh. No, but they say things like, oh, he's an observational comedian. How can he say things that relate to ordinary scum?
Ricky Gervais jokes about people calling him out of touch because he's rich and famous. He playfully talked about flying private jets and being called an observational comedian who can't relate to ordinary scum, jokingly standing up for his audience.
They're still trying to alienate you and make you look different, right? And they always say things like, no, you don't have children. I say, no. I say, why don't you have children? Which is a really odd question to ask someone, why don't you have children? As opposed to asking people, why do you have children, right? Let's ask the fat lady in the leggings why she's had 8, shall we? Oh, 9, that one just fell out. That one didn't even touch the sides. Oh.
Ricky tackled the classic "why don't you have kids" question with his usual razor-sharp wit, flipping it around to ask, why doesn't anyone question why you have kids? He couldn't resist taking a cheeky jab at stereotypes, joking about how some people seem to pop out kids like it's their full-time job. With his trademark humor, he turned a personal choice into a hilarious critique of societal norms, leaving us nodding and laughing at the same time. He always keeping it real.